So those are the key headlines coming out of that speech which has been made by the Prime Minister just a short while back. A speech which has been looked at very, very closely and minutely by the global community. Accepting Pakistan's challenge to wage a 1,000-year war against India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has really walked the talk today. He's promised that his government is not only ready to snuff out terror, but also to give a befitting reply to Pakistan for their continuous involvement in these round of brazen attacks on army camps, first in Punjab and now in Jammu and Kashmir. Directly and very, very strongly hitting out against Nawaz Sharif over his speech at the UN, the Prime Minister said that Pakistani leaders are reading out scripts which have been written by terrorists, scripts which have been written by the army establishment in Pakistan. He even took a direct dig at Nawaz Sharif, saying that the Pakistani government has not been able to govern that part of Kashmir which it had snatched from India. It can't govern Baluchistan. It can't get its act right as far as Gilgit is concerned, but it continues to harbor ambitions of getting hold of Kashmir. In an unprecedented move, and to my mind, the biggest move which has been made by the Prime Minister today, he has tried to reach out directly to the people of Pakistan. In an unprecedented, never-before-seen move, Modi, while reaching out directly to the Pakistani citizens, has said that Pakistanis should necessarily question their government over their misplaced priorities and urge their political establishment to wage a war not against India, but against poverty, which seems to be gripping Pakistan. So, an unprecedented speech made by the Prime Minister. While indulging in a bit of bluster, he also ensured that there was enough in it for the people of India and for the people of Pakistan. So let's play out the key points which have been made by Prime Minister Modi today. He says, we're not going to forget Uri. Sacrifices of our Jawans will not be going down in vain. He directly accused Nawaz Sharif and his predecessors, frankly all political rulers of Pakistan over the last 2 decades, saying that Pakistan cannot even govern that part of Kashmir which had snatched away from India. It cannot get its act right in Baluchistan, yet it continues to harp about what's going on in Kashmir because it is eyeing that part of Kashmir which is, legally speaking, India's. Pakistan is the biggest roadblock to peace and development in Asia. This is in direct response to what was suggested by Nawaz Sharif at the UN speech. Now, this is the fourth point, the most important point for the domestic political constituency of the BJP and Prime Minister Modi. He says India is absolutely ready for war with Pakistan, but war against poverty, poor education and disease. So while Nawaz Sharif keeps talking about terror, Nawaz Sharif keeps talking about armed forces, Modi trying to move the game away, trying to change the rules of engagement with Pakistan, directly reaching out to the people of Pakistan. He then said that India is a leader in software, whereas Pakistan, as has been described by some, becoming the Ivy League state now of exporting terror. Modi borrowing the same point, saying that Pakistan has now become the leading exporter of terror, not just in Asia, but across the world. Pakistani leaders reading out scripts which have been written by terrorists, a direct hint that the political establishment in Pakistan is not necessarily in control of the real political game, that there are non-state actors, there is perhaps the army establishment which has been forcing the hand of the political establishment there. Now, this clear message which has come from Prime Minister Modi to both people of India and Pakistan has been looked at very, very closely. Let's just play out some of the important points which have been made by the Prime Minister before you.
जम्मू कश्मीर में, उरी में हमारे पड़ोसी देश ने जो एक्सपोर्ट किए हुए टेररिस्टों ने हमारे 18 जवानों को बलिदान होना पड़ा। आतंकवादी कान खोल के सुन ले, यह देश इस बात को कभी भूलने वाला नहीं है। और पाकिस्तान के हुक्मरान सुन ले, हमारे 18 जवानों का बलिदान बेकार नहीं जाएगा। एक देश एशिया में ऐसा है जो 21वीं सदी एशिया की न बने, पूरा एशिया रक्त रंजित हो, पूरा एशिया आतंकवाद की चपेट में आ जाए, खून खराबा हो, निर्दोष लोग मौत के घाट उतार दिए जाए, उसके षड्यंत्र करने में पूरी तरह लगा हुआ है। आप सिंध को संभाल नहीं पा रहे हो, आप गिलगिट को नहीं संभाल पा रहे हो, आप पख्तूनिस को संभाल नहीं पा रहे हो, आप बलूचिस्तान को नहीं संभाल पा रहे हो। ये तो आपके पास है, आपका शासन है, आप इसको भी नहीं संभाल पाए हो और आपको कश्मीर की बातें करके ये आपको गुमराह कर रहे हैं। आप पाकिस्तान की आवाम अपने नेताओं को जरा पूछे कि जो घर में है उनको तो ढंग से संभाल करके दिखाओ। पाकिस्तान की आवाम, मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, हिंदुस्तान आपसे लड़ाई लड़ने को तैयार है। आओ हिम्मत हो, आप अपने देश में गरीबी को खत्म करने का काम करें, हम दोनों लड़ाई लड़े, देखते हैं सबसे पहले अपने देश की गरीबी कौन खत्म करता है। कि हिंदुस्तान दुनिया में सॉफ्टवेयर एक्सपोर्ट करता है और आपके हुक्मरान टेररिस्टों को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं, क्या कारण है?
Right, so that's what has been suggested by the Prime Minister. How should we be interpreting this speech which has been delivered by the Prime Minister? Let's raise a big question coming out of that speech delivered by Modi. Modi talks development, Nawaz Sharif talks terror. Has India changed rules of engagement with that one speech which has been delivered by Pakistan? That's the key question we're raising on the program tonight. Our reporters and political guests, as well as those who know a thing or two about Indo-Pak relations, joining us. Zafar Islam, spokesperson of the BJP, he's joining us live. Amiben Yagnik, representing the Congress Party. Ambassador Parthasarathy, former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan. Ajay Shukla, well-known columnist in strategic affairs, is with us as well. Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad joining us as well. And our reporters, Mare Shakil is there in Kozhikode, and Pallavi Ghosh has been keeping a close eye on all the political developments coming out of that speech by Prime Minister. Let me just get a quick word from you, Mare Shakil, before I turn to the panelists here on the program. The Prime Minister was speaking at a time in Kerala when members of his own party have really been trying to raise the rhetoric. Within the BJP Karyakartas, is there a feeling that this is the best the Prime Minister could have done?
Well, Bhupen, there was a lot of anticipation that was associated with this address of the Prime Minister. This was, of course, his first public address, first public appearance in many ways after that pre-dawn Uri attack that took place on Sunday. There was this anticipation, and the build-up was clearly that the Prime Minister would be making a clear political point, trying to send a message to not only his constituencies, to his cadre, but also to the people of this country. And very well, he has chosen this platform in Kozhikode to send a message also to the people of Pakistan. Top BJP sources are telling us that the fact the Prime Minister encouraged the morale of the forces in those 10 to 15 minutes where he talked about the issue of Pakistan, he kept on referring to the fact that how the Indian Army, the BSF, the CRPF and the Jammu and Kashmir police have worked in the last few months. They have neutralized 110 terrorists. They have busted almost 17 Fedayeen attacks, and one attack obviously took place in Uri. The fact is that the morale of the forces was down. There was a Pathankot attack where questions were raised about the intelligence failure, about the failure at multiple levels, and that is one area that the Prime Minister has addressed. And besides that, of course, that making that distinction between the people of Pakistan and also the leadership of Pakistan, where he turned the entire logic of war on its head by saying, let's wage a war, but the war should be against malnutrition, against poverty.
But that's what I want to know. Zafar Islam, that's what I want to know. You know, that's exactly the point that I wish to address on this program tonight. In fact, we'll try and we'll go to Zafar Islam in a moment. But let me just put that question to you, Ajay. You know, here is a scenario where the likes of Ram Madhav say that for every tooth which is being taken out by the Pakistanis, let's take out an entire jaw. Now comes the Prime Minister And he says, I want to wage war, but I want to wage war against unemployment. I want to wage war against lack of education. Let's see who beats whom between India and Pakistan, but on a war on these fronts. Is the Prime Minister really changing the rules of engagement with Pakistan, Ajay?
Well, I think first of all, I think this speech is clearly de-escalatory in intent. The Prime Minister has made many points in this speech and pressed many buttons, and he has essentially walked a very fine line between sounding tough to Pakistan on the one hand and de-escalating the current tension build-up on the other. He has, you would notice, and I'm talking specifically about the point that deals with this, he talked about the sacrifices of those 17 soldiers, or 18 soldiers actually, one died the next day, not going in vain. And immediately followed up by saying that we have isolated Pakistan on the international stage. He seems to be signaling over there that the action that India had to take, it has been taken. And then he went on to this major new paradigm which he's taken up, which is that we are ready for a 1,000-year war with Pakistan, but it will be in the fields of combating poverty, combating disease, combating infant mortality, and raising the level of education. And he has also sent out the signal here that if I cannot do business with Pakistan's leadership, I will do business and reach out to Pakistan's public on its own. Now, this is good. This speech is not going to be naturally go down immediately as a sort of hand of friendship to the Pakistani public. But in terms of the current situation, in terms of the build-up, in terms of the expectation from Mr. Modi, and what is Mr. Modi going to say today, the speech is clearly de-escalatory in intent.
Okay, you believe speech is clearly de-escalatory in intent, but the point that you make, Ajay, is a point well taken, and let me take that to Zafar Islam now, who's joining us live. Mr. Islam, there was a lot of anticipation about what Narendra Modi will do. What is it that Narendra Modi will say? I'm looking at comments on social media, I'm looking at comments from many supporters of Prime Minister Modi, and there is a sense that maybe if there was an iota of an opportunity for India to indulge in really tough action against Pakistan, that opportunity has already been missed. Is the Prime Minister really indulging in de-escalatory talk, as Ajay is talking about? Is there a larger political method to what Mr. Modi is saying today?
Bhupen, I think it was a historic speech. This will go down in the history of one of the finest speeches made by Prime Minister of India. This address, there are three constituencies which had to be addressed in this speech, and I think Honorable Prime Minister had addressed all the three constituencies. The local population, the people of India, I think after this speech, every citizen of this country will be proud of the government, proud of the Honorable Prime Minister. Second constituency was the global community. I think they will be extremely receptive of this speech because he could speak a language of a statesman which nobody had ever anticipated, given the situation and current situation in the country and the way Pakistan had attacked and killed 18 of our army. And third constituency, which was a very everyone will be surprised, is the Pakistani people. He addressed the people of Pakistan directly instead of the government, and has said the Hukumran. He referred Hukumran means the leadership as well as the army of Pakistan, and they needs to be given a lesson. He showed a mirror. Where was India? Where is India today, and where is Pakistan?
Ambassador Parthasarathy, Ambassador Parthasarathy, is this going to work?
And that will.
You know, I think that is where the real move has been made by the Indian establishment today, where in an unprecedented move, at least I don't remember, Ambassador Parthasarathy, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, an Indian Prime Minister directly reaching out to the people of Pakistan. Is there a subtle shift in Indian strategy that you pick up, Ambassador Parthasarathy?
See, now don't interrupt me when I till I complete.
Sure, sir.
Okay?
Yes.
I will even stop with one session.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, what I regarded as significant is there has been irresponsible talk of military strikes. expecting that it can be done tomorrow morning, which is ridiculous, and that passion has to be cooled, while at the same time assuring the people of India that we are cognizant of your interests and your sentiments. I think that was the Prime Minister's multiple aim. No options have been removed from the table. And I recall what Mrs. Gandhi did in 1971, and I served in the military and lived through the 1965 war in the Sialkot sector. And I can tell you that this is a statesman-like speech, despite huge domestic pressure from his own party, that he should, that they should have forbearance and patience. Secondly, I think what is very important is I hope this ends this nonsense about treating every Pakistani who comes here as an enemy. He has very categorically said, if we have persons we blame, it is the ruling elite and the army and not the people of Pakistan. Having lived in Pakistan, I think that is a sentiment we have to push. Then I would like to say one thing. He has made it very clear that he is not going back on the route he took in his Independence Day speech, when he referred to Balochistan, referred to Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, referred to Gilgit. Most importantly, and none of you noted, I did because I watch developments in Pakistan clearly. Pakistan Army is not worried about this. Pakistan Army is worried about what is happening in the Pashtun tribal areas.
Okay.
But 20% of the army comes from there.
Right.
And its stupid operations have resulted in 80,000 people being rendered homeless, 50,000 fleeing into 800,000 homeless,
right.
50,000 fleeing into Afghanistan, and no remedy in sight. Listen, Pashtuns have a very long memory.
Okay.
And don't forget, what he added to his Republic Day speech was Pashtuns, meaning he's conveyed, I know what your warts and moles are, and I'm keeping an eye on that. So I think for the international community, I think let's be very clear, Nawaz Sharif got 0 when he went to New York. And in fact, what surprises me is the statements which have come out from Saudi Arabia and the Gulf countries, not to speak of the 4 permanent members of the Security Council, who are pretty clearly empathized with India over that terrorist strike. Okay. So whatever Pakistan may say, even the Islamic world has gone along with it. So I think let us give it time. Okay. Please cool down this talk of warmongering and cross-border raids.
So
leave these decisions to the
your point is de-escalatory
and one bit of advice to the government.
Yeah.
Please reach out. Please listen to me. Don't stop me.
Yeah. Quickly. Yes, sir.
Please listen to me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm leaving.
Yeah. Complete your point, sir. Complete your point.
The government should reach out to the opposition. The government should reach out to the opposition and share in confidence what they are doing. Mrs. Gandhi did that in 1970.
No, we want to know. I'm still not clear
about. Should be regarded as being as patriotic as the government.
I agree. You say that the government must reach out to the opposition. Yeah. Ami-Ben Yagnik is there. Ami-Ben Yagnik, there are 3 words I pick up from what Zafar Islam, Ajay Shukla and Ambassador Parthasarathy said. De-escalatory in nature, statesman-like, and reaching out to the people of Pakistan. Now, firstly, tell me, do you believe, are you getting a sense from the speech of the Prime Minister Ami-Ben Yagnik that the Indian government really has a strategy to deal with Pakistan?
No, I don't think so. There is any specific strategy. I think there is a lot of there is hardly any clarity, because the speech, of course, as usual and as at every rally it is, looking to the occasion, this time it is Uri. It's taken a long time to respond or to tell the country by way of this speech, which was meant for a BJP conclave. It should have been from New Delhi and immediately after Uri, the incident. Of course, we all salute our army. He made that point. He said that we will never forget, that India will not forget. He does not have to remind us. But the Honorable Prime Minister should have said that this is 1, 2, 3, 4 action I decide to take. Instead of addressing, it's not a dialogue with the people of Pakistan. We are talking of protecting India. We are talking of protecting our army. We are talking of taking a foreign policy which means there is some action to be taken. But on one hand, you go and wish the Prime Minister of that country, give a surprise birthday visit, and on the other hand, now you want to engage into something which is absolutely deviating from what is a foreign policy. Yes, there has to be a war against poverty, illiteracy, but these are research papers, these are analysis. You are talking about dealing with a neighbor who has come and shown this kind of heinous mannerism. So we have to come and give some kind of an action plan. This is one of the speeches. It's not a unique speech. It is a speech which he always gives. But where is the action? That is what we are saying. It may be de-escalatory.
Right.
It may be addressed to the people of Pakistan. So what? Whenever anybody makes a speech today, if somebody writes on social media, and the whole global community is watching, responding, reacting, registering.
I want to know the strategy.
It is bound to be taken.
I want to know the strategy.
Yes,
and I want to know, and Lieutenant General Prasad, maybe you can explain to me, because on my Periscope feed, people are asking me one question. Here was a Prime Minister who came to power on the specific premise of a nationalistic sentiment, a nationalistic fervor. Do you believe this speech which has been made by the Prime Minister today, will it go down well with the armed forces? The 18 soldiers who died, all the chest thumping that we've seen, is all that now frankly a thing of the past? And once again, slowly but surely, are we again moving towards the inevitability, the ultimate scenario of talks between the two countries, Lieutenant General Prasad?
No, I don't agree with you at all. I'm sorry, I have a completely different take on this matter. The attack in Uri took place on Sunday, and today is Saturday. The Prime Minister has taken 1 week to get his act together. It is something that was very, would have been not a very mature response if he had started talking about it the very next day. He has taken a week to consult his CCS. He has taken a week to consult his armed forces chiefs, his intelligence chiefs, his internal security chiefs, and whoever is going to make a policy for India. I think it is a very well considered, very well articulated response that the Prime Minister has given to the nation today. He has said two distinct things, and the government's approach is two-pronged. One, a tactical response, to which the Raksha Mantri said there can be knee-jerk reactions also, and the DGMO has said we will take action at the date and time and place of our choosing. That response must be going on. That response neither you would be knowing very well nor I would be knowing very well. Sooner or later we will find out what tactical actions have been taking place at the line of control by the military. The other is the strategic response. It takes time to develop it. Strategic response is not only armed forces and not only talking rhetorics, it's about considered approach. It has diplomacy into it. It has the armed forces into it. It has covert and overt operations into it. It has the population of Pakistan. And before all of it is articulated in front of the public, it has to be very well considered. It has to be considered as to what are factors that are going. Psychological warfare is an important aspect of the development of strategy. It is a part of the psychological warfare to make the people of Pakistan rise against the people who are perpetrators of terrorism, and the world needs to see it. On Monday, there is a diplomatic offensive going to be launched by the foreign minister. While the army is doing what it needs to do by itself, I am quite sure they're doing it. Let them do what they want to do. What is important is a strategic response, and the response will take time to develop. It cannot be unleashed overnight, cannot be unleashed in X number of weeks or months. What is important is we must prepare for it, and the preparation is beginning to take shape. It is appearing that the government is getting serious. One such action that has taken place is the signing of the Rafale deal the other day. I want to see more of these. Now you will ask me the next question, are you satisfied? I am satisfied to the level of where the speech is today. I would actually begin to get satisfied if these things begin to show some action on the ground. For example, is the modernization being enhanced? Is the small arms that the army needs is being procured? Is the ammunition deficiency being made up? Is the night vision equipment that are deficient could be made up? Is the army and the CCS meeting frequently in the military operations directorate and examining the progress of how the strategic response is developing? All of these send messages. There is already a message in Pakistan that fighters are already up in the air. Nothing has happened as yet. So there is a domestic population of Pakistan which must be made to rise. There is an internal preparation, and it must be visible. Howsoever hard the government may try, the media is hawkish. The media will find out when the Prime Minister met in the CCS.
No, but why blame
in the
the
military
media?
operations
The truth, if I may put it out, sir, the truth is
No, I want the media to know it.
But the BJP itself,
you will tell us. You will tell us. Sorry, sir, you will tell us. We won't know. How will I know whether the CCS meeting has taken place in the ops room or not? You will tell us. No, please, no, 1 minute. Let me just finish this, please. You see, the point is, the stages of preparation get visible as they unfold.
Agreed.
Howsoever hard the government try to keep it secret, somebody will let it out. And let us say whoever lets it out doesn't matter. The point is weekly progress of the strategic development must be visible, which it will be.
I'm in agreement with all of you. When you say that the Prime Minister has come up with a strategy, what I want to know from you, Pallavi, and that's a question which I've been trying to put to all my panelists to figure out, the Prime Minister has two clear-cut areas to focus on. There is his own domestic political constituency. The state of Uttar Pradesh goes to polls in a few months from now. And then there is a global community. We all know that America is in a state of lame duck Congress right now. American elections take place in the month of November. To his domestic political constituency, Pallavi, the speech which has been made by the Prime Minister, how is that going to be seen?
See, I think he's tried to address both the constituencies, and in fact earlier today the MOS home, he did give it away when he said that there is a strategy in place, but you cannot expect the Prime Minister to kind of reveal it all publicly, and certainly not on national television. I think, you know, if you look at it, Bhupen, ever since the Uri attack happened, the kind of responses we've been getting in from the ministers and from this government is extremely low-key. In fact, that extra effort has been made by most of the ministers to say, let's not go in for a knee-jerk reaction, let's be very mellow. I think Ram Madhav was possibly the only one who actually spoke so strongly, but after that, minister after minister was extremely careful in terms of their words and their nuances. Because they do, this is not the right time to indulge in what many would call warmongering. You have to be very subdued in a sense. You have to wait for the right time. I think that's what the Prime Minister is trying to do. He's trying to wait for the right time. And also at the same time, when he talks about development, he's also trying to be more and more inclusive. In a sense, he's trying to isolate Pakistan also. When he plays the development card, you know, he's trying to reach out to the rest of South Asia, to other countries, saying, look, here India is talking about development, and look at Pakistan, which has got nothing to do with development, and all that they're focusing their energies on is a disruption of a country which really, in a country like India. So I think that's what the Prime Minister is also trying to do. And very quickly, Bhupen, you cannot up the ante, you cannot raise the expectations of the people, because, you know, and then not able to measure up to it. So I think this time the Prime Minister has been extremely careful, and I think Mr. Parthasarathy was very right. I mean, you know, he's talking out to people, he spoke to the CCS, not one but two CCS, talking to even the service chiefs before he left for Kerala today. I think the message he's trying to send out is that we are going to think this through.
Okay, we're going to think this through. Maria Shakil, Pallavi Ghosh, thanks for joining us. Rest of our panelists are going to stay on with us, because there is a second part to this debate as well, which needs to be addressed. And both Ajay Shukla and Ambassador Parthasarathy are best people, as well as Dr. Jayant Prasad, to address that question, which is this, that for the longest time we heard that this is a government which had a plan in place when it came to dealing with Pakistan. And repeatedly in our coverage have been pointing out that we don't believe in warmongering. We're not trying to raise expectations here. But is there a different strategy? Is there a different tactful response which is being witnessed from Prime Minister Modi in comparison to his predecessor Manmohan Singh? Or is there a certain familiarity on the Indo-Pak script which just must be adhered to and which just must be maintained? Take a short break. Return with the answer to that question on the other side of the break. Welcome back to our special coverage of this Saturday evening, where we're looking at the import of what has been stated by Prime Minister Modi in his speech in Kerala. Our panel is still there with us, but just before I go to the panelists, and we have a guest from Pakistan as well, Naved Chaudhary of the PPP, who's joining us live. Let me just play a reaction that we've got from Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. The Prime Minister indulging in de-escalation, indulging in reducing the level of rhetoric when it comes to India and Pakistan. But how is the Prime Minister satisfying his own domestic political constituency? Here's Ravi Shankar Prasad's response.
Sir, a strong message there going from the Prime Minister. It was on expected lines, one would say. But the choice of his words, and also the fact that he tried to make the distinction between state actors, and also saying in many ways that the people of Pakistan are different from the leadership of Pakistan.
Today, the Prime Minister sent a message to Pakistan that 70 years ago, our stock was the same. And where are we today and where are you? He has asked the people, fight for malnutrition, fight against illiteracy, fight against poverty. Let's have a fight there. But he also gave an indication that we have killed 10 terrorists who tried to create mayhem in India. But we shall not forget the martyrdom of 18 Jawans.
Mr. Prasad, do you think the Prime Minister here was speaking almost like an opposition leader who was going into an election mode?
You will never forget your old habits, isn't it? But no problem. Today the Prime Minister spoke like a brave leader of India, which he is. And the Prime Minister spoke like a world statesman, which he is.
Says brave and Prime Minister is a world statesman. Ajay Shukla, you know, the truth is that Prime Minister Modi was the person in 2014 and 2013, Ajay, would often talk about speaking to Pakistan in a language that Pakistan could understand. Now tell me, what's the difference between what a Manmohan Singh would do and what a Narendra Modi is doing today, Ajay?
But Bhupen, many prime ministers over the years have found out that the language of opposition is different from the language of power and the language when you're sitting in the seat. Mr. Modi has already found this out earlier, actually. I think today his big question which he addressed in his speech and the fine line that he walked was he knew that everybody in India who was listening to that speech was listening for one signal. Is there going to be armed retaliation against Pakistan for the Uri attack? Is there going to be an escalation or is there not? And I think the message that he sent was sent in Modi's best, sort of oratorical best. It was sent in a dual tone. There was a hard line for the domestic audience and there was an outstretched hand for the Pakistani audience. And the larger message was, a prime minister who's going to escalate tensions or escalate armed action is not going to be reaching out an outstretched hand and saying, I'm ready to engage in a 1,000-year war against you, but it's going to be in the fields of poverty alleviation and education and maternal health. So I think it was a very skillful and very carefully crafted speech that actually addressed three different audiences, as one guest has already pointed out. And I think this was really Modi at his best, and Modi at his, displaying the realization that, when you're in opposition, you can say one thing, you can take a hardline stance.
So somewhere, realism sinking in.
But when you're actually in the seat and you hold all the levers
you
of
speak
power,
a different language. So realism sinking in. Let me put that question to you, Naved Chaudhary, then. To India, most of our analysts here, Ajay Shukla, earlier in the day, Ambassador Parthasarathy and Lieutenant General Prasad, all the three of them suggesting that Prime Minister Modi has been like a statesman. Now we saw what Nawaz Sharif said and did at the UN General Assembly session, and we've seen what Prime Minister Modi has done today. Tell me, what's the possibility of Nawaz Sharif still picking up the phone and reaching out to Prime Minister Modi? Can there still be some kind of a conversation which can take place between these two sides, Mr. Chaudhary?
Look, first time after a week, Prime Minister Modi's speech is a different speech in this way, because he is towing the same line what we were saying since long, that poverty alleviation is more important, literacy rate is more important. These are the more important things between both the countries and the people of the countries. But along with also these things for this public consumption of their own public consumption, he was also using the word of let it be Shaheed, that if they wanted to fight for the 1,000 years, they can fight for this. That can be a good for it, but for what cause? Why they wanted to have war? Why they wanted to? If he is condemning the terrorism, then why he is saying that they can fight for 1,000 years? I think there was a duplication in it. So it was a more political statement than a statement of his own words and other things. But still, if you wanted to have a relationship, good relationship, which is the most important essence to remove the literacy rate and to promote the poverty alleviation things, then I think dialogue should be started. If the both of the country will start.
No, I'm saying, can Pakistan make the first move? Let me put it this way, Naveji. Ajay Shukla made an important point a short while back when he said that there is a hand, there is an outstretching of there's a hand which is being outstretched in some sense by Prime Minister Modi. Is someone in Pakistan willing to accept that hand?
You see, when you're saying this thing that it is a terrorist state, is a move by the sponsor terrorism. That is a wrong allegation. You see, whenever you're putting this allegation to the Pakistan is the main. You see,
I'm asking a simple question. Can Nawaz Sharif pick up the phone and speak to Prime Minister Modi? I'm not even using the word congratulate, but I'm saying, can he speak to Prime Minister Modi? Should he? If
it is a requirement, he can call. If it is a requirement of this, but he, in this position, he is not in a position to say that on side you are going to make a war-centric atmosphere in your country and war-centric in another country. And
let's be clear. I think I'm getting a clear sense. I'm getting a clear sense. And Lieutenant General Prasad, maybe Ajay, you're nodding your head in disagreement. Are you in disagreement, Ajay, when I say that maybe it's just a matter of time before another round of talks? Maybe, who knows? India and Pakistani leaders have gone all over the world to hold talks with each other. Some back channel resolution coming up. Do you believe that is the most logical next step? Is that what we're seeing now, Ajay?
I think that would be the most logical next step, and I think I would not be surprised if that happens. I would actually, being a suspicious journalist, not be surprised if some back channel contact has already not taken place.
Zafar Islam, is that a possibility?
More importantly, there is going to be...
Ajay, sorry, go ahead, complete your point, Ajay.
More importantly, I don't think it will happen very quickly, the overt part of this outreach and any counter that might happen from Pakistan. I think there will be a sort of a politic time interval that will take place, allow tensions to cool, and only then will the two sides be in any kind of position, given the public
Zafar
opinion on both sides, to actually reach out.
For the last 1 week, Zafar, I have heard from Ravi Shankar Prasad to the defense minister, defense minister went on record saying, expect a knee-jerk reaction from me as well. Ravi Shankar Prasad went on record saying relations with Pakistan can never be same. I'm being very, very direct with you. Are relations with Pakistan bound to be same again? Is there only one trajectory which can be worked out with Pakistan, which is dialogue? Let's be clear. Most rational people, Zafar Islam, will say dialogue is the best way ahead. BJP was questioning that. Therefore, I'm asking you, is that what's going to happen now?
Let me respond to you, Bhupen. First of all, Honorable Prime Minister has addressed the whole nation that we are in a state of readiness. Should Pakistan want a war, we are ready to respond to them militarily.
But Pakistan is already doing that. I thought BJP's point was that Pakistan is already doing it.
To the people of Pakistan. No. Let me just complete it, Bhupen.
Okay.
By addressing the people of Pakistan, engaging them, he actually addressed two important issues. One, that global community will welcome this definitely because he is de-escalating and he is giving a very positive feelers to people of Pakistan. Secondly, he has killed many of our enemies in Pakistan without even being one bullet being fired, because many of our enemies will get hounded by the people of Pakistan going forward. That's the way it happened when he raised the issue of Pakistan.
Can I put that? No, hold on. No. You made an important point. General Prasad, no, I'm running out of time, sir. General Prasad, this outreach that Modi has indulged in, sir, towards Pakistan, do you foresee there are people in Pakistan who are willing to accept that hand of friendship? Nawaz Chaudhry has already gone on record that maybe Nawaz Sharif can speak to Modi. Is there friendship still possible, sir?
Friendship time is over.
Over?
Friendship time is over. We have to now develop, which I can see developing by what the Prime Minister is doing, a strategic response. The time has gone past of handshakes. The time has gone past of talking. You can keep talking, it makes no difference. The water now has gone far above our head.
Okay.
The only answer is to prepare and let the preparation be visible and let them come down on the knees. That's the only option left.
Military
we
talk.
have done it for 20 years.
That's military talk. I don't see
military
that.
talk. No, I'm sorry, no. I'm sorry, it's not a military talk.
Why, sir?
It's a national response. Military, one minute. It's only a military response is only if the military is doing. Military is not doing anything alone. It's a national response.
It's a national
political response. It's a diplomatic response.
Okay.
So let me complete, sir.
Yeah.
Don't push me down this.
Quickly,
Let me complete this.
Quickly,
Don't misquote me. It is a national response. Our military is an important ingredient of that.
Fair enough.
There is diplomacy.
No,
there is politics. So, and there is the internal constitution. So the time has come, and what I want to finally say, we will be disappointed if this strategy which is unfolding stops at some point in time.
Strategy.
Once again in dialogue.
Strategy.
And
So you believe there is a strategy
to be taken to the
strategy to be taken up. Okay, Ami-Ben Yagnik, quick 10-second rebuttal from you.
I want the strategy to be completed.
Ami-Ben Yagnik, do you agree?
It must be taken to its finality.
Lieutenant Prasad says there's strategy.
I
do you
will be
agree?
very unhappy if it's given halfway through.
Ami-Ben Yagnik, is there really a strategy? Is Modi's hand being forced? Let's be clear, there are global powers at play there. There is the international community. Is Modi's hand, simply put, being forced? Is Modi in many ways realizing that there is only that much that he can do in order to indulge in rhetoric and bluster?
No, I think when he was there, when the Honorable Prime Minister was before 2014 giving interviews and just voicing his opinion on how to go ahead with Pakistan, I think this absolutely a very different kind of a narrative he had and a different kind of steps he wanted the then government to take. And today, while you are in power, you suddenly change. So it doesn't change. The people of the country are the same. Your actions for that particular country who is harassing you has to be the same. And so, yeah,
international diplomacy.
He will have to take the action. No,
you cannot understand. That's the reason why your party has not been able to solve this problem in the last 10 decades.
Political war again. Thanks very much to all of you for joining me. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this Saturday night special of India at 9. Here's my take. I think that the first steps towards dialogue with Pakistan have been taken by Prime Minister Modi. I disagree with those on this panel who say that dialogue time is over, that handshake time is over. I'm willing to put this on record. I understand from what I make out of Prime Minister Modi's outreach today and from what I gather from the government, it's just a matter of time before once again there is bound to be a photo op between these two leaders. Mark my words, you can hold me accountable for that one. That's it then on this special edition of Saturday at 9. News updates continue all through the night.
हमारे 18 जवानों का बलिदान बेकार नहीं जाएगा। ये आपको गुमराह कर रहे हैं। हिंदुस्तान आपसे लड़ाई लड़ने को तैयार है। आपके हुक्मरान टेररिस्टों को एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं।